want to get into little industry heads. Now that we're here, we're current.
Okay.
We're in the now.
All right.
Let's get into that because I know this is something we actually were recently talking about. Everything that's going on with the hemp rules changing.
Okay.
I want to get into that a little bit, which was funny. It's been happening, and I was planning on talking about this today on the podcast anyway, and then the mood guys came in. I was planning on talking about the hemp ban coming up
It was
before that
came
happened.
by.
So it was gonna come up today regardless, but then mood came in, and those guys introduced themselves, and we showed them the whole thing, and it was just kind of funny that now we just kind of had that in to discuss it on the show, which was pretty funny. So let's explain, before we get into like the nitty gritty of like this, let's explain to the people who might not know, what is everything surrounding like when they go to the gas stations, like what is that? Why can they sell that? Because a lot of people don't really understand. Like I'll have customers
That they're buying crap.
I'll have customers come in sometimes and they'll be like, I need something that matches this. And they show me a guy recently did this. He comes in, he goes, I need that. I need something just like that. And it said 50,000 milligrams per gummy. And I said, Cole was the one there. He goes, first of all, let me just explain. In a real dispensary,
honestly, like I know you can't kill yourself from smoking too much weed, but like
if that was true,
50,000 milligrams per gummy.
We explained to people. We always tell people it's unregulated, so that basically means they can say whatever they want to say. So I'm going to tell you this: it's not 50,000 milligrams. That's
passed down the
crazy.
floor.
That's crazy. If it were, I don't care what your tolerance is. You would not be mentally sound for
comatose.
a week. Like, it would be so much. It's crazy.
Oh,
but
fuck.
why? We'll explain to people, like, the reason that happens. Like, what is the loophole that they're taking advantage of? Because it's not cannabis.
So they're taking advantage of, like, this hemp THCA crappy loophole. And, like... They're average, and like it's so stupid because like they even sell it by my house, and
it's technically the reason they're able to sell it, even though it's intoxicating. It's THC.
It's hemp.
It's hemp. It's hemp derived.
Exactly.
It's not because it's not the cannabis plant. It's hemp. And hemp naturally has a certain percentage of THC inside
but it's very low.
It's very low. It can get to a point where it technically becomes, even if it's only 0.1 above this limit, it's technically classified then as cannabis. So it then it's no longer a hemp plant. But if the original weight of the hemp tests below, I think it's 0.3%, it can then be sold because it's not from cannabis, it's hemp. It's intoxicating hemp. So that legal loophole is what allows people.
And then they coat it in all this other crap.
Right, they do all this shit. First of all, the quality.
Stupid pre-rolls, these vapes. I was at my cousin's house, showing her my other cousin, and she happened to pull out this her pen. And I looked at her, I was like, "Where'd you get this from? This cart?" It's called the gas station. I was like, "Oh yeah." I unscrewed it off her cart, threw that shit right in the trash, took my pen out, unscrewed my full cart off, screwed it onto hers. I was like, please don't ever smoke that bullshit ever again.
I'll tell you what to buy.
Ever smoke that bullshit in front of me ever again.
I'll be your buyer. I'll buy for you.
I was like, yo, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Like that was atrocious. I was like, no, I can't have my little cousin smoking on this bullshit.
No.
Here, here's some shit. Here. And I don't smoke distillate.
This is family.
I don't even smoke distillate. So like I gave her a live resin card.
Your resin or
so
rosin,
like I was like here's some heat. There you go. Enjoy that, because that was some bullshit. I was like, how much you spend on that?
You're like I only drink top shelf liquor.
Yeah, it's like yo, how much you spend on that bullshit? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Say some disrespectful number. But yeah, so it just makes it. It's a shame because like there are a lot of great uses for hemp, but the way they're selling it in these stores, like they have it in all types. It's even sold down the street in the corner from my house, and every time I walk in there, I always laugh. And it's so funny because they also know I work in the industry. because the kid in there asked me all the time. He was like, oh, because I'm always buying roll up. So he's like, oh, you know, you must smoke. I was like, yeah, like, you know, I work blah blah blah. He's like, oh, so I told him, you know what I do. So I always think it's funny because like every time I walk in some of these places, smoke shops, I'll be seeing all the pre-rolls and stuff and the vapes. I'll sit there, I'll laugh, and I'll just buy my roll up and leave. Because I'm just like, yo, like, I can't. This is too funny that this shit is really being sold in here, and then I can't wait for this garbage to be gone. Oh my God, I can't wait for this garbage to be gone.
It's gonna be interesting.
I don't like the way they're doing it because they're doing the farmers dirty.
That is also the
That's my issue. That's my issue with the hemp ban.
Yeah, that's
my issue isn't with that they're taking it out of the gas stations and everything else. Like, get that shit the hell up out of there.
No.
Like, get it up out of there. It's disgusting. They're marketing it atrociously. Like, get this crap out of here.
Yeah, it's like
my issue is how they're doing the farmers and everybody else who's already out here growing it and has been doing it legally for years, and they're doing them filthy by letting them grow it and not being able to sell it in the state. That is atrocious.
Yeah.
That is my biggest issue with the hemp ban.
It's like kind of arbitrary. Like they're allowed, like you can grow it here, but you can't sell it here. It's like
it's asinine to say that.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? You're telling these people who have first off, you're abruptly changing these people's livelihood permanently.
Yeah.
That's been this way for
blanket
years.
Yeah.
Since the hemp, the hemp laws and everything else. And now you're gonna do this. That's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, because in New Jersey,
that's like telling Jersey farmers you can't sell tomatoes, Jersey tomatoes to Jersey people.
That's like, because like in New Jersey, like I know it's like the federal ban is kind of going on, but like in Jersey specifically, they said no, after April, like you're done.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it's a hard, except for like the liquor stores, like they have that is a recent. It's not really recent, but it's like they tweaked it a little bit, like the liquor stores.
Yeah, like liquor stores, licensed dispensaries are gonna be able to sell, intoxicating hemp products now.
Right. So we're going to be able to sell intoxicating hemp products.
Yeah. So realistically, like, it also does hurt. Like, I believe the hemp ban doesn't include CBD. I believe it said. So it doesn't include like CBD-based products.
By the way, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with CBD stores because CBD on its own is a very useful.
Yes, but like there are other cannabinoids that are very useful that it does hurt, like CBG, CBN, all those other things like that. Like that's the issue where like, are you only including CBD-based products? Because if that's the case, like
it's the
sleep-based hemp products,
right?
Like CBG, like all these other like cannabinoids that are really good for other things.
Like CBN for sleep is a major. Like if you're gonna want something for sleep, like you gotta have some CBN.
Yeah, it's just kind of messed up to like be like, we're just gonna, screw that, screw all the people that they need these products,
Yeah. Just this one for whatever, and it's so arbitrary for whatever reason. Just this one is under that weird. It's
a bunch of people making rules for people that actually smoke. It's egregious.
People ruling on matters and things that they don't actually have any firsthand knowledge or education on.
It makes no sense how you can sit here and be like, oh yeah, I've been smoking for a couple years now. A little puff here and there. Now that it's legal and cool, I can make rules for a bunch of people that have been doing it for decades and act like I know what I'm doing. No, you have no idea what you're doing. Yeah. Not a clue. People are pissed with you all over the place.
And the thing of it is, like, as far as like, because we're gonna now. It's an option now. If we want to, we can call someone up and get in a relationship and start carrying like a beverage, like an intoxicating hemp beverage. Like we have that option after. I think it's the 13th. Is it April 13th?
Yeah, it's not like April 13th, something like that.
So it presents an opportunity in a way for us to be able to.
I like the fact that like dispensaries are finally gonna be able to do it,
right?
Because I always thought that was a stupid thing. That's like,
because I always said at the very least,
can't sell
if you're gonna allow it to be sold, put it under the same scrutiny and regulation that we're put under, as far as the testing, the requirements, the expectations around it. You know what I mean? If it's an intoxicating product, if that's always been the explanation behind all of this rigor around this plant, then that's also an intoxicating product. Why is that not under the same level of scrutiny? If it is really about that, then what are we doing here? What's the whole? So that is what I liked about Mood. They had the COA. They have a COA certificate of analysis, which is very
most
important.
drink companies have them. Yeah. Like even like the other ones I've been familiar with, but like it's just more so they like to nitpick and pick and choose when it comes to like a lot of the
Testing.
like not just testing, but like who gets to grow what. Because now my issue with the whole hemp ban is like, cool, you're gonna do all this with the Jersey farmers and everything else is going on, fine. Don't turn around and start letting MSOs grow hemp and backdoor their way in just because they have millions of dollars to just throw at you and be like, yeah, get this done for us.
Yeah.
Because we know that's what they do. We're not dumb.
No. Yeah, you're right.
Magically, because I remember that CRC meeting, a lot of other people do, where they said we're 100,000 pounds short of opening. There was another meeting like 3 days later, and wow, 100,000 pounds of flour just magically materialized.
That's great.
Like,
that's so blatant.
Like, wow,
That's
like,
so blatant.
Like, it sounds like somebody got paid.
That's nuts.
Like, oh my God. Like, wow. Like,
it's so funny.
And then, like, it's politics, so we all know that's how it is already.
That's great.
So it's like, let's be honest. Cool. That's the case. We all knew what it was going to be. $60 ace. The MSOs get rich. The little guy got screwed early. People called me crazy when I said it was going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. Because, like, come on now. You really thought they were going to let the small guys get in for the first couple 420s and not make their millions back real quick? They were about to get access to everybody in the state, and we overwhelmingly voted for it. 60% of the state said we want recreational. We overwhelmingly voted for it.
I couldn't believe that.
They knew what was going to go down.
I couldn't believe when that happened. When that day happened and it was on, like, it happened, like, the vote went
A friend of mine
through.
said she saw 1,000 people.
I was like, oh
That
my.
420.
When I saw that on the news, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We get to do it now. I couldn't believe.
60% is wild to be like, wow.
I was so blown away.
I didn't think it was going to be so proportionate. I thought it would be like a little closer. I was like, damn, 60%.
No, it was a blowout. It was an absolute
There we
blowout.
go.
It was crazy.
There we go.
I was so thrilled. It was that unanimous. It was great. Everyone was like, yeah, what the hell? It was awesome. But yeah, that's wild. Look, it's always been that for me. Like it's unfortunate that it even has to go through, because at the end of the day, it should be, as far as the plant is concerned, and I do think it does have these benefits, which thank God it does, because it gave it the justification to finally be as accepted as it is today. It's not fair, we'll say fair, that it has to prove itself to be able to be sold like any other thing that gets sold, like alcohol or tobacco. You don't have to come up with all these medical bases of why you're allowed to sell.
Who's hurting themselves smoking hemp?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So
who's hurting themselves smoking hemp? Like, come on now.
It's weird that it took this for cannabis to get to where it is today, because no other thing that has any kind of effect, no, I know, but it's ridiculous that no other thing that has that kind of effect, I mean, other than, like, obviously there's like psilocybin and LSD and things like that, but like it doesn't have to prove itself to have any kind of medical purpose to get the recognition to be looked at. But for
there is
some reason,
zero medical recognition that alcohol has for an individual.
it's an absolute vice.
They let the alcohol industry
It's a vice to an absolute degree,
want.
and it's just a juggernaut of industry. But for whatever reason, this plant, which long-term and short-term has just
decades of actual science, beneficial
it's
science
ridiculous
behind
how
it.
much better for. I'm not saying it's period good for you.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's perfect.
The fact that it is so much objectively, comparatively healthier to do this than drink, smoke cigarettes, tobacco, cigar. It's crazy that now that we've learned, and actually there's been actual science done that hasn't been just manipulated through interests, that it is actually not this demon.
There's a reason
not this evil.
There's a reason Dare removed it from the program. Finally,
it was so unsuccessful. So it's crazy. But now that it's at that point, unfortunately, it's forced people to go into situations like what intoxicating hemp had. Like the fact that it was driven to that degree of this bizarre, again, arbitrary loophole that people had to manipulate to get intoxicating hemp and stick. Because at first it was just, that was the only thing you could do before it went recreational. It was just, that was your only, you get Delta 9 and shit. And then, unless you have a medical card, like other than that.
Or you was going to your man's.
Exactly. You have to go pretend, you're gonna go sit on some guy's couch who you kind of knew, you kind of didn't know, and act like you were really good friends with him, and then have a nice conversation.
Hey, sometimes you was really friends with your plug. You was there long enough.
Sometimes he'd, sometimes
you was there long enough with him.
Sometimes he'd really sit down with you. He'd smoke free of charge. You'd smoke with him.
Hook you up.
Yeah, it'd be a nice friendly experience. But it's just, you know, unfortunately people, and it's resulted in hemp being grown in, like, you know, because they don't really, like, the care that goes into it. Like, it's not as well looked after as far as, you know, how rigorous the testing and the environment and how important everything is surrounding an actual cannabis. Hemp has been, like, treated as, like, this redheaded stepchild in this weird way for some reason. It's just bizarre. And it's just a shame that it had to happen. But now it's gonna become now, I think, like another option on the shelves.
It's gonna become a monopolized option again.
Yeah, it's gonna become another option.
The little guy's
it's gonna be
gonna
the
get
lower
kicked.
cost. It's gonna be the lower cost intoxicating item.
Also, like the lower guy on the total, like the smaller guys are gonna get kicked. You know, they're gonna take the hit. You know, some large company somewhere is gonna start coming out with mass producing hemp, and then magically, this is how it's gonna get mass produced and sold because they have the money to set up the manufacturing, get all the grease the palms of whoever they need to get pushed to the front of the line or whatever, get inspection done, things like that. So it's just a matter of how long now is it going to take for legal hemp to now be excessively grown and sold by everyone, who's like the farmers and all the rest of those guys, the smaller businesses.
Right.
The same way it happened with cannabis.
How long is that trickle down going to take?
Exactly.
Because it's always the trickle down that has to happen.
Because it took legal cannabis like what, 2 years, something like that.
It took some
before
time.
the smaller companies
Before
started kicking in.
independents started
like,
popping up.
About 2 years, something like that.
Get through the approval processes.
So,
yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what actually. I think what's going to be most interesting from what people were, because now you're not going to be able to go and get 50,000 milligram gummies at the gas station anymore, which is just, it's not 50,000 milligrams.
It's going to stop the foolishness.
It's just ridiculous.
It's going to stop the foolishness.
But I think it's going to put a little onus on the CRC kind of a way, because people are going to start this. There's going to be this expectation of a higher potency item. You know what I mean? Because people.
I wouldn't say higher potency, but I would say more consistent item.
Right.
Because the effects could vary so much from across the board for this or stuff like that. So it's like, especially that gas station level crap. Now it's like, cool, we get rid of that. You add a level of consistency to it.
Yeah.
So in that aspect of it, it is very good and it is very beneficial and helpful to people.
Do you think
Because now, like, the people who actually need intoxicating hemp and not cannabis, because you can get some of the very similar benefits.
Right.
Holistically and get less of the psychoactive aspect of it.
Right.
So, it can be beneficial in that aspect for those people. Like, in that sense, I think it is great.
Exactly. It definitely has its place in the market, for sure, for sure. Do you think it could kind of light a fire under the CRC to kind of readjust like milligrammages in terms of like the caps? Because right now it's only 100 milligrams per package for gummies. Do you think that's going to maybe you think it's going to influence them to kind of adjust that?
They've needed to adjust that a long time ago.
No, I agree.
I hope the people at the CRC, these smokers know that, like, you level out and you peak at a certain point when you're consistently doing the same thing. It's like, cool, like you're now kind of, this is your base.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get much, more feeling than this. You're kind of just tapped out until you can get a stronger milligram. Like, if at some point in time you have to increase the strength.
It's not going to elevate past into a DMT experience.
Yeah, like my tolerance level is at the floor. 10 milligrams is.
Yeah.
You get more from smoking a single joint than from 10 milligram edible. You get more from a single joint.
10 milligram edible. My edible tolerance is so wild. Like 10 milligrams, as much as I could smoke, 10 milligrams would floor me. I would be a mess. Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
I'd be weak in the knees. That would be brutal for me. I don't know what it is. I've always been that way with edibles.
I've eaten a bag of pegs and been good, but they're so good. But like, yeah.
The pegs RSOs?
Yeah, like I've had a bag of them boys.
Those are dangerous. They taste really good.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, it's like eating actual
I was
candy.
chilling. I was
Yeah.
still smoking and everything else, but it was just like edibles just don't hit me the same like other people do. It's just not, that's just me.
You just have that weird edible tolerance
Yeah,
for like you can just go through it.
Yeah, it's just, you know, but some people, you know, they get really sick and they hit them really hard. Some people doesn't. So
I never get sick. It's just like, I
I know some people that get sick.
I don't know. I'm just that I've like I've as far as weeds like flour is concerned, I could be pretty comfortable just ripping through bowls and like no matter how high I get, I'm like.
I know a couple people like that too. They eat an edible and it's like.
Some people love that. Like Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz likes doing that.
Can feel their face just.
Joey Diaz takes edibles to go to those dark places where he feels like he's not okay. He goes, that's the game.
You know,
that's what you do.
Look, man, you know.
There's lunatics like that.
That's what some other fun things are for. You know, you do that when you want to be like.
Right.